Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 156 of our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise Adventure. And yes, it's a special one. We have finally made it to Africa. We are visiting the island of Mahe in the Seychelles, and we're going to take you around the entire island, showing you all the beautiful sights.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
Well, we sure are. Well, friends, today we're excited because this is truly our first day in Africa. We've made it to the island of Mahe, and it was so beautiful. The sailing was just so pretty. We looked out on our balcony, and we saw how pretty it was. We decided to run up to the helipad to just enjoy the beauty as we sailed in.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Moorea.
It did.
Near the Tahitian island of Moorea. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous sail-in. We went and just sat up in the helipad area on that little bench that's up there, and just kind of really enjoyed and took it in while the ship was docking and getting cleared for customs and all that. But once we did get cleared, we had to get off right away because we had some friends that were already on the island. They actually left from both Mumbai and Dubai, and they flew ahead and didn't do the sea days we did in between Dubai and the Seychelles, and they've been here in a hotel and enjoying the island, and they planned a tour for us. So the tour guide was waiting for us, they were waiting for us, and we just had to get off the ship. But when we got off the ship, we had a nice greeting.
It was. There were some dancers there, and they had a couple of gifts for us, which I thought was very sweet. They gave us, they gave all the women these little earrings here, and these earrings are
It's not what it looks like. It's Coco de Mer.
The female version of the Coco de Mer tree, which is
fruit.
a fruit. Yes. And there's a male version too.
And it looks like what you'd think it looked like.
and they gave us these little turtle soaps that they made. I thought very, very, very sweet. I thought that was a very nice greeting.
It was a nice greeting. It
nice
really
gift.
was.
Yes, it's something I appreciate.
Yeah, the port was interesting, though, because it was more of an industrial port, not really, having a big cruise terminal. And we were trying to find our way out because it was a bit of a walk from the ship out of the cruise terminal to where we met. It was. And we were just wandering around. There's cargo containers and forklifts, and and we finally found the sign that said exit this way. And there was a long covered walkway that eventually popped out. And sure enough, there were our friends and our guide.
Well, we got in the van, and the tour guide gave us a tour around the city of Victoria and kind of just showed us all of the area and the highlights there. But this was really nice. He then stopped the van and let us get out for about an hour and a half to walk the area ourselves, for us to go and see the areas now that were of interest to us, which I thought that was really nice because he did a nice overview throughout his driving tour. And so the first place we went to was the cathedral, and we got to take a look and step inside and spend a little bit of time in there, and that was a good way to start the morning.
It was really nice, and I agree 100% with you. I always like walking tours, but I like to also know where I'm walking, and so getting that drive around overview first was really nice. Well, then after the cathedral, we walked to a local market that he showed us, and this is a combination of a farmer's market with produce and meats and fish, and in fact, you can see the pictures of the fish, and the birds are standing on the fish and pecking at the fish on the tables, and it's a very local market, and they're selling fruits and vegetables and things. But then on the upper level is almost kind of a tourist market. They had all souvenirs and clothes and different things up there. So that we did get. We always try to get a Christmas ornament and a patch,
right?
And we got both those things.
We got
up there.
a turtle. for the Christmas ornament, and you found a patch, I think, with the flag.
That's right. Yeah. And so then after that, we walked and left the market and we went to the Peace Park that he showed us. Now, the Peace Park is a relatively new addition here to Victoria, and it has three main statues. It has Nelson Mandela, and it has Gandhi, and then it also has the first president of the Free Seychelles after they achieved independence. And how did you pronounce it?
Sir James Mancham.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the first president there, and they were all to promote freedom and all to promote peace. So that was neat to see.
It was a nice little thing. So we walked from there. Well, then we walked back into town, and they have an old clock tower from the Victorian days, and that was kind of interesting. And right beside it, they have the "I love the Seychelles." It seems like every
island has that.
Yeah, so we got a little quick snap of that. And then after that, we started walking back to the van, and you did a little bit of shopping.
I didn't get anything, but just walked around. We had a few minutes yet to spare, so. But then we went to the van.
Yeah, we did. So getting in the van, he took us to the first of the beaches that we're going to see. Now, the Seychelles are very famous for their beaches, and we saw about 3 or 4 on the tour today. Each one had their own personality, kind of the way it's used. Some of them you can't swim at. Some are for surfing. Some are just for lounging. Now this first one was interesting that it was right on the beach where our friends actually stayed. They stayed in a hotel down the beach, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can see the hotel bar from here," and so we kind of looked at that. And Trader Vic's was around the edge of the beach, and just a nice overlook. And
beautiful spot to look at.
So there, from that point, though, we got back in the van, and now we're going to head up into the highlands of Mahe Island. And the first things we went to, we drove all through a tea plantation. It was kind of interesting because the tea was just kind of growing wild.
It was, but yet it was still maintained, which is nice. Now, we didn't get to go through the tea factory. However, they did have a little gift shop, and we did purchase a couple of teas, some vanilla tea and some cinnamon tea. And it's very good.
It's really good. That I really enjoy the cinnamon tea, and I haven't tried your vanilla tea yet, but the packets are actually very small but very potent. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you can do a full.
But it's fresh. I mean, it was just packaged here this month. So.
They actually had the date of packaging, and then of course the date that you should use it by on it, and it was I think it was just made a couple weeks ago. Well, we went to another beach overlooking, and this one was one that, as we mentioned, was not safe for swimming. There's too much undercurrent. There's some signs that say, "Hey, don't swim here." But it was a beautiful beach. Yeah, it really was. One of the things to note as we're getting ready to go to lunch here on our tour is the Saudi royal families and the families actually from the UAE, not from Saudi Arabia, but from the United Arab Emirates. The Emirates families have established a presence, let's say, on the island. They come here to vacation. They've built houses, and let's just say the Seychelles were not an inexpensive place to visit. The hotels,
that is true.
The hotels were very expensive. The food was pricey, and part of it is the Seychelles have somewhat become a bit of a playground for the rich and famous, and that makes it a pricey vacation. One of the things we noted as an example, as we went to lunch, was the lunch prices were around, almost $40 a person for lunch. Now, that said, you can see the place that our guide took us to lunch was very nice. It was right on the beach. The food was good. But, going to a lot of the countries we've been in recently, at least, $40 a person, almost $80 for lunch was, a little pricey.
Well, considering I had pizza.
Yeah, that's true. And our friend said the same thing, going to the, having a drink or going to any of the restaurants it was a bit pricey. So if you are thinking about a vacation to the Seychelles, be sure to look at the pricing and make sure you've budgeted appropriately. It's a beautiful island, as you've been saying, very beautiful, but it also is a very expensive island. Yeah. Well, while we were at lunch, they had tortoises there.
Oh, okay. I thought that was so sweet. They had a pen that had tortoises in them. The tortoises were eating, and so I got to feed a tortoise, and I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, you just picked up a branch that near one of them, and it sat and just munched away from it.
Did.
Yep. Well, after that, after we finished up with our lunch, we got back in our van and started heading around, and we visited a rum plantation.
We did, and so we got to do a rum tasting, and that they had all different types of flavored rums. One of them was their Valentine's special, which it was almost like cotton candy rum, if you can imagine that. Now we didn't get any rum, but that was a fun stop.
Yeah, so they actually offered two types of tasting. So you paid, I think it was the equivalent of about $5, $8, something, to do a tasting, and then you got your choice of either doing the what they called premium tasting, which you got a taste of 4 different rums, 3 of their premium, and then they kind of threw in an extra one, and then or you could do flavored rums, and they had, I think you got like 8 tastings on those, but those rums are about half the strength of the normal premium rums. They were okay. We did the premium rum tasting, and then they actually threw in a few of the flavored ones for the ladies here. And again, didn't buy any. Just an average rum, I'd say. I've gotten so used to.
It was fun to do the tasting.
It was a lot of fun. Don't get us wrong there. I've just been spoiled with Zacapa rum from Guatemala, so that was so good. And so they've set the bar kind of high there. So.
Well, the next place that our tour guide took us was to another overlook. And again, this was very pretty. We were up high on a mountain, and we could see our ship from this overlook. So that was neat to see. We got a beautiful view. And then our van started to roll backwards.
Down the hill. Yeah, it was kind of funny, too, because he said, I'm going to take you to a surprise at kind of end the tour. And he said, I got one more place I'm going to take you to a surprise. And it was this overlook. And we thought, was the surprise you don't put the parking brake on? But our friend Terry, she jumps in, puts her,
we called her Wonder
puts her
Woman.
shoulder into the van and keeps it from rolling. And then I ran around to the other side to hop in while the guide's running to the van and helping Terry hold it.
Holding the van.
And the first thing I'm doing is jumping in, and he's like, hit the brake. And I look real quick, and of course it's a standard shift. And I look and go, clutch brake, don't hit the wrong one. And so I hit the brake and stop the van.
It's because they drive on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road. So things felt very backwards.
Different. Yeah,
yes.
even though on a right-hand drive car, the pedal orientation is the same. You're on the wrong side of the car, and so I just did not want to hit the clutch.
So thankfully, nothing bad happened.
Yeah, we got the van stopped and everything was okay. But that was just kind of that was a funny surprise.
It was.
So, but it was a beautiful overlook.
Yes. So then we went back to the ship and got back on board, and things were the weather was starting to change a little bit. But when we did get back to our room, we walked out on our balcony. We had a nice surprise right below our balcony. This was a good surprise.
Yeah. Ship didn't start rolling away. No.
There were 2 stingrays right below our balcony, and that was just beautiful to see those.
Yeah, we were very, very fortunate to catch those, and they're just swimming around and enjoying the day, I guess, before the weather turned. But one thing about the Seychelles, just as I guess kind of a warning, the harbor area contains one of the largest tuna canneries in the world, as we understand, and you can smell it.
Yes, very, very, very strong. Now, I mean, I like fish, but this is not a very pleasant smell.
No, if it really, to be very blunt, smelled like dead fish. And at first we thought, well, gosh, is it just what the harbor water smells like, or their fish, what's going on? But then later we found out it was the cannery that was right next to it. It's fairly close to the ship. Now, that said, most of the other island we were to, we never really smelled it. So if you're at a hotel or something like that, you shouldn't really be smelling it. But a cruise ship docking in the Seychelles, that smell is what you're going to get, unless the winds are blowing just right. But so that there were some people that was like, oh my gosh, they felt like it was in their room for like 2 days afterwards, because they had their balcony door open. And so just be aware of that.
Pleasant. Yep. Well, like I said, the weather is changing a little bit because we do have a cyclone coming, and it's quite a large cyclone. And so that is giving us a change of plans once again here. So we were supposed to go to the islands of Ledique and then go to Madagascar, both of which were tender ports, both of which they canceled due to the cyclone that was coming. So we ended up having 3 sea days here after this, and so we spent our time. We edited videos. We spent our time during the day working on YouTube here, and we go to the headline show. So they had a magician here. His name was Brett Sherwood, and he was cute.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think our
good.
level, being on this cruise for now 5 months, we have seen a lot of fantastic
magicians.
interviews, a lot of magicians and a lot of jugglers.
And a lot of comedians.
And I never want to take away from them because these guys would be great on any 7-day cruise. But when we're on our 10th magician and our 12th juggler, and
So they've the
bar
bars
gets set high.
Set high, yeah. So that's hard for the new ones coming on. So other things is we have been learning how to play mahjong. So that's a new thing. There's been someone on board that's been teaching mahjong. So we've been learning how to play that.
Yeah.
And, oh, let's see. They had a royal escape murder mystery. Kind of one of these what we had mentioned before in a previous video, like an escape room type thing, where it's a lot of puzzles and you have to go around the safari club and find the clues to solve the mystery of whodunit. And so that was fun. One night they had a game show called Liar Liar, where they had 4 crew members up at the front, and they had these very, very odd, obscure words, and one person had the correct definition and the other 3 had made up crazy definitions as to what the words meant, and you had to pick out which one was telling the truth.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that was really, especially as we've gotten to know some of the crew members and their personalities and things. So, and then one day for lunch they had cake day.
They did, yeah, and so they had, I think, 15 or so, 18 cakes of all different kinds. They had cake decorating where they had kind of a contest. They had one of Tanashi. He was, what is his title here?
He's the restaurant manager.
The restaurant manager. They had a little girl who was probably 7 or 8 years old decorating a cake. And then they had their pastry. They're the one who does all the beautiful cake decorating on the ship. And they had a cake decorating contest. And of course the little girl won. And it was just very, very cute.
Yeah.
One of the headline shows was a dueling piano show, and it was the Lomax brothers. And they were quite good and very energetic, and they'd sing, and both of them
I enjoyed
were
them
really
a lot.
good.
And there's where we had a different variety of entertainment, right? We never seen 2 brothers sitting at the keyboard together playing the one piano, not dueling pianos, but playing one piano.
A duet. That's what I wanted to say.
And just full of energy and singing. And that was an unusual show. It was kind of like, if you remember a couple of videos ago, the couple that played harmonicas. And we thought, oh my gosh, this can't be good. And it was excellent. And this was the same way. The Lomax brothers were really good. Well, after all these nice sea days, we got a little relaxation. We're heading off to the beautiful island of Mauritius, where now we get, because of the missed sea days, they're ahead of schedule now a little, so they're giving us a bonus day in Mauritius, and we get an overnight. We love overnights.
We do love overnights. We love being able to spend a little more time in our destinations, in our ports, to see, just to see more, not to feel rushed to get back to the ship, to enjoy that nightlife. So
but in Mauritius, we're going to go out to a wonderful courtyard dinner, and we get to snorkel with turtles.
That's right.
It's a pretty fun one. So
stay tuned, friends, and we will be seeing you very soon.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.